Graduated today. It is under the subject, what are the efforts done by the government of Jordan towards all transformation and smart cities? I want to welcome on the stage our valuable speakers, the moderator, Mr. Mohammed Al-Rawabde, promotion expert at Jordan Ministry of Investment. Also, I would like to call the engineer Hadil Al-Abdallah, AI Transformation Project Manager at Jordan Ministry of Investment. Engineer Sultan Al-Kharabshe, IT Director at Greater Amman Municipality. Engineer Jabra Dahtal, IT Director at Aqaba Special Economic Zone. Okay, the stage is all yours. Good luck.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. And we're more than appreciating the efforts being done by Intaj and the co-organizers and our partners. Big thank you for everybody who contributed to make this event a success. Now, starting or building on the previous session, which was talking about the competitive advantages of Jordan and why it is an innovation and digital hub, we're trying here in this session to focus on the government side, the efforts being made by the government itself, the public sector, since all the other sessions will be talking about the technological trends and so on in the private sector side. So allow us to start by, first of all, let me make a quick brief about the session and why have we chosen those biggest two technological trends or emerging trends in the globe. There was an initiative started 2 years back in the Ministry of Investment where we managed to work on a future foresight plan for the ministry, trying out to maybe clear out the vagueness of the future for 10, 15 or 20 years to go. So we can maybe be compatible, be prepared, trying out to transfer our entity into a smart entity, keeping up with the latest technological trends and so on. So the two latest technological trends were picked up by us. One of them was the AI application in the business, and the second one is the smart cities. So having mentioned all the previous, I'll start with my colleague, Engineer Hadil from the Ministry of Investment, since she's the project manager of the AI transformation in the ministry. And rest assured, Mohandes Sultan and Mohandes Jabra, I will be neutral towards you, despite the fact that I'm part of the transformation projects in the ministry with Engineer Hadil. So, Hadil, let's start with the backstory. How was it all started at the ministry, and what was the main objective back then when we tried out to come up with a plan to stay in the line with the latest technological trends? So, would you tell us more about the AI transformation? How has it started, and where we're going? Thank you.
Starting from working on future foresight, as you have mentioned, and as we are working to study the recent trends, and one of the most important trends is AI and its application in all sectors. And we have to mention that one of the most important responsibilities in Ministry of Investment is to increase the competitiveness of business environment, and it's one of the government priorities too. So we worked to find how can we enhance the delivered services to the investor, And we found that the shape of services are changing rapidly because of the rapid technology advancement, such as AI, blockchain, smart big data, and so on. And these technologies are becoming a driver for different sectors, more than just enablers. So it's vital for all institutions to think how can we change our services depending on these technologies. So we searched about best practices and how can we transform our services in the Ministry of Investment. And we are proud to tell that the Ministry of Investment is the first institution to start adopting AI technologies, and we have a strategy for AI transformation. Changing the shape of services will provide better services, better decision-making for decision-makers and investors. So we will have more accuracy in decision-making, more engagement for investors in this transformation. We have found that the best way to transform any organization after searching about best practices to use proven tools and techniques to transform. It's not about having techniques only. It's about building an ecosystem in the organization depending on different pillars. It's about people, it's about culture, the leadership support. It's about having talents to lead the transformation in the institution. So we started to make a maturity assessment in the institution. Are we ready to transform? What do we need to transform? How can we build corrective actions to build all pillars to have a comprehensive transformation covering everything? So we have at the Ministry of Investment a transformation and innovation team now to lead this transformation effectively and in a successful way.
So having mentioned that the Ministry of Investment was the first governmental institution in Jordan to adapt some AI applications and so on, what was the backstory behind it? Why in specific the Ministry of Investment was selected?
It's an initiative from Future Foresight team after making deep studies and what's the best to develop services and to achieve a competitive advantage for Ministry of Investment. It's the main responsible institution to provide a competitive business environment.
Thank you, Hadil.
Thank you.
Now, moving on to Man and Aqaba as well. Coming back to you, Hadil. Now, having mentioned that during the exercise that you managed to work on alongside the other project team members in the ministry, let's say the technologies were mapped and so on. So what were the most trending or emerging technologies that were picked up by the ministry to focus on and so on? Would you tell us more about those technologies?
6 technologies will be adopted in our strategy. It's a 5-year strategy for transformation, starting from smart big data that will provide a comprehensive plan or master plan for investment opportunities. Machine learning will be also used for providing investors with predictions and pre-feasibility study for different opportunities, and this will guide investor to better decide about his investment in Jordan. AI and machine learning is used already in chatbot, and it was launched 2 months ago. And another phases will be launched within this project. It will guide the investor also to make decisions, to have a comprehensive idea about the ecosystem in Jordan, providing him with all answers about his questions. Also, blockchain will be used to regulate incentives and licensing for the project, and this will achieve governance, transparency, and more security for the investor. Virtual reality and Internet of Things will also be used within the 5 years.
Perfect. So, having mentioned some of the technologies, would you focus maybe on the added value from the investor perspective? What would be the added value for the investor when maybe the top one of those technologies being applied?
This will build the capacity towards excellency in the organization. It's very useful for customer or investor engagement and happiness within his experience. This will achieve transparency and governance, more trust. And about IoT, it will achieve better energy efficiency, for example, in the smart building management.
So it both works on the efficiency, where we're trying to increase it, and the cost as well. So there would be some cost savings and so on.
Yes, for sure.
Perfect. Would you elaborate further about the pillars being picked up by the exercise you've been working on and so on, the main pillars?
The AI strategy will focus on main pillars like the execution of AI techniques, the procedures agility, technology, talents, mainly the enablers, technology, talents, ecosystem, infrastructure, finance and investment. Also, it will focus on building talents and building the culture in the organization to be able to lead the transformation with less resistance. So there's a part about change management in this plan.
So I believe this was very challenging since we're working on the change management, culture changing and so on.
Transformation depends mainly on building the culture before talking about techniques. So it's important to concentrate on people and how they will be a part of your transformation process. It's mainly about culture and people to drive business innovation in the organization.
Thank you, Adil. How about the timeline as well? Can we talk about the timeline in your opinion? Is it really going to happen in the near future that we are transforming the Ministry of Investment into a smart entity that using the latest AI applications and so on?
Our plan is to execute the projects within 5 years, but we have many challenges actually. As you know, you are a part of the transformation and innovation team, so mainly we need to work about the availability of needed infrastructure, and this will be with participation with Ministry of Digital Economy. We need to work on to talents development, and this will be very important to mention that we need a participation, a real participation with the private sector to raise awareness about transformation and using these technologies, and with universities and research and development centers. We have also challenges with having a shared vision with the stakeholders. We need a shared vision, a shared framework, principles and ethics of using AI and other future management tools. We need to work on determining values that are shared among all stakeholders and institutions. So these challenges may be obstacles in executing our plans, but we are trying to overcome these obstacles. Also, AI still faces a problem with techniques that addressing AI. For example, machine learning needs a huge human effort to address and label the needed data for training. So it's about the quality of data that's needed for this transformation. We need to reassess the data within the organization and to work better to develop it.
Thank you, Hadil. My distinguished guest speakers, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate the inputs that you've been trying to provide. And the audience, thank you so much for your listening. And we wish that we could have managed to provide you with the perspective of the technological trends and what are the efforts being made by Jordan government towards those technological trends. And we're keen to hear more about the private sector as well from your side. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for the informative session. Our next session will highlight some Jordanian success stories and case studies related to fintech by Jordanian companies and startups locally, regionally, and globally. Join me in welcoming the panelist speakers in What's Happening in Jordan in regards to fintech session. Our